This is the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Wednesday, the 31st of July. I'm Michael Groff. Showers and thunderstorms rolled through the valley last night, but in typical monsoon fashion. Some of you got a deluge, others didn't see a whole lot, although just about everyone did get some measurable rain. What does today look like? How long will the active weather last? Let's talk about it. First, we'll take a look at the almanac from yesterday. 107 degrees was the afternoon high in the valley just before the storms hit. 76 the low. That actually occurred at 11:59 p.m. And we picked up 0.13 of an inch of rain officially at Sky Harbor Airport, still well behind for the year. Outside right now here at 6:45 a.m., you're going to feel it when you step outside this morning. Cloudy skies, 81 degrees presently, dew point at 72. Oof, it is tropical out there. Relative humidity 74%. The winds are light and the barometer is rising. Temperatures out there this morning, we are mostly in the 70s and low 80s, but with dew points in the 70s, it's air you can wear. Here are the rainfall totals over the last 24 hours, and you can see where the majority of the rain was over there in the East Valley. Places like Gilbert and parts of Chandler, Mesa had upwards of an inch to an inch and a quarter, with other spots checking in between 3/4 of an inch and 1 inch for the East Valley. Here in Arcadia, where I am, 0.68 of an inch. Sky Harbor, 0.13 of an inch. But look at around Avondale, Goodyear, Tolleson, up toward Glendale and Peoria. Most of those spots had 1/10 of an inch or less. And then a little further west, some heavier totals, at least upwards of 1/4 of an inch or so. All right, the upper air look this morning. High pressure still in control here across the southwest, but we have an inverted trough in northwest Mexico that's heading into the western part of the state this morning, and that is going to continue. Showers and thunderstorms out that way. Will be on the periphery of that, so still a chance of storms, which we'll outline in a moment. Here's our watch warning map situation. We still have a flash flood watch in effect for the Phoenix metro area. That expires at 8 a.m. this morning. It may be expanded. Certainly out in the western part of the state may need to be expanded as well. A couple of flash flood warnings in Yuma County right now as I do this update. Severe weather outlook for today. We've got the standard slight risk in effect for some of the major East Coast hubs: Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., up to New York City and Newark, with a marginal risk for a good portion of the New England states, as well as sections of the Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming, and around Omaha, Nebraska. Here in Arizona, we're in the green, so scattered thunderstorms expected today, but severe weather is not overly likely. Checking out the tropics, first in the Atlantic Basin, a couple of waves out here in the short term, nothing to worry about with development, but as we go through time, this one out here near Puerto Rico may impact the South Atlantic coast, and then there's one out here west of the Cape Verdes. Again, nothing to worry about for now, but as it approaches the Caribbean, 50-50 chance that it develops, as conditions are favorable out there, according to the National Hurricane Center. Now, out in the central and eastern Pacific, we've got a couple of hurricanes. First of all, there's Eric. This will track south of the Hawaiian Islands, but still could bring some gusty winds and some showers to the area as it passes by. It will be weakening, but still, tropical storms can be problematic out here. Good news for surfers, though. And then we've got Flossie behind that. And this one is a little bit more questionable. This is going to track a little bit further to the north. And again, as it encounters the cooler waters near Hawaii, it will weaken probably to a tropical storm by sometime on Sunday and impact the islands early next week. And this one might be more of a direct hit. So obviously, if you have any vacation plans down there, you're going to want to keep an eye on this situation. But it still doesn't look overly threatening at this time, as these systems do weaken usually as they approach. All right, checking out the precipitation outlook valid through next Wednesday morning from the WPC. Rain amounts here in the valley, 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. That includes some of the rain we might get today. Meanwhile, 1 to 2 inch amounts possible for some of the rim country, and any one spot during the monsoon can get more than what's shown here. All right, let's check out the details of our weather as we look at the models and see what the future brings. Here we go to the GFS. This is the 06Z run, valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. High pressure sits off to the east, and it's starting to reposition itself, more of a southerly flow, maybe even becoming southwesterly with time. We've got this inverted trough moving through and perhaps an impulse behind that. So down at the surface, cloudy skies this morning with widely scattered showers and thunderstorms still impacting us. Better coverage of rain out in the western part of the state and southeast California, moving into southern Nevada as we go through the day today. And we'll continue with a 40% chance of rain even into this afternoon. Now, the big question is, will we get the clouds out of here, or at least some breaks in the clouds? Because that will bring in the sun. That'll help to destabilize the atmosphere. And if this secondary impulse materializes, that could also set the stage for some showers and storms. Certainly, we have a lot of moisture around, but the high-res models aren't overly helpful in trying to pinpoint what's going to happen today. For example, this is the 3-kilometer NAM at noon today. It's got an area of showers and thunderstorms affecting the valley and moving through the area through the early afternoon. But the HRRR at the same time only shows isolated showers here, more scattered showers and thunderstorms for the northwestern portion of the state and for northern Arizona. So it's going to be hard to pin this down, but I think just kind of a generally cloudy day, muggy, and highs, well, that's also tricky, but we're going to go with a range of about 90 to 95 today. So that is obviously well below our climatological averages. We might stay in the 80s if we can get some more rain and clouds to stick around through the day, but I would not count on that. All right, now for tonight, we'll have a continued chance of showers and storms, lows mid-70s to low 80s, and then tomorrow, somewhat drier conditions will start to set up as more of a southwesterly flow comes in. I guess our chance of rain is not technically zero, but I'm going to keep it out of the forecast. Partly cloudy, highs around 100 or so. Let's go to Friday, partly cloudy, highs 102 to 105. And then over the weekend, Saturday, there could be an isolated shower or storm here in the valley, but I think the better concentration will be again over the high country in eastern Arizona. High temperatures warm up a little bit more, somewhere between about 104 to 108. As for Sunday, this run of the GFS shows scattered to even numerous showers and thunderstorms over the high country, making their way toward the deserts, perhaps enhanced by some sort of upper-level disturbance. So in a nod to that, went ahead and put in at least a slight chance of rain for us here in the valley. Monday might be a down day, convectively speaking, if that verifies. And then Tuesday, slight chance of showers and storms returns, and temperatures remaining relatively close to average. Let's go out to a week from today. This is Wednesday the 7th. Still have a low-grade monsoon in effect. And going out 10 days to the end of the forecast period. This is Friday the 9th. Now the ridge getting displaced off to the east in response to an upper-level trough off of the Pacific Northwest coast. A drier southwesterly flow would come into play. And the other thing you notice here, our low that's way out there by the Cape Verde Islands now approaching the east coast. So if this verifies, and I would, of course, always caution you, we're out here at 10 days. This is out into fantasy land, imagination land. So this is likely to change between now and then, but this run of the GFS, just thought I'd let you know, is showing a system approaching the South Atlantic coast. All right, checking out the temperatures through the period. This is coming off of the GFS ensemble. It's got us at 97 today. I think that's kind of an aggressive forecast. Possible if we can get the clouds to clear out of here, but with all the moisture and rain chances around, I don't think we're going to get up into the upper 90s today. And then we'll warm it up as we go into the weekend and next week. Temperatures relatively close to where you'd expect for August. Lows mostly in the 80s. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. If you like our videos, be sure to subscribe so that whenever we post a brand new one, you'll get the notifications. Your comments, questions, and suggestions always encouraged as well. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Be safe out there. You guys have yourselves a fantastic Wednesday.